Hey, my name's Sim Kern. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm starting an Authortube channel. So I'm a writer, and I've been on Twitter for a while. So some of you are probably gonna know me from there. And if you're new, welcome. I have a book coming out in September, and I thought it would be a great time to launch an Authortube channel, just as another way to keep engaged with readers and maybe find some new readers. And also, it should just be something fun to do during the pandemic when we're all stuck at home. So, like I said, my name's Sim Kern. I'm originally from Chicago, and I lived half my life there, and then I've lived the second half of my life in Houston, Texas. So I get a lot of comments on my accent when I'm in Houston. A lot of people say I sound very Midwestern, and when I go back to Chicago, people say I sound Texan. So uh, if you're wondering about my voice, that's where it's from. I'm not exactly sure what this channel is going to be yet. I have a couple of ideas. I'll probably talk about the books that I'm reading and what I'm working on. Today I'm just introducing myself, and I'll tell you what I'm working on this week. Um, if you are also an author on Authortube, say hi in the comments. I would love to follow more authors on YouTube. So, what I'm working on this week, I just got my proofs back for my book, Depart, Depart, and it's so exciting to see my baby formatted on the page in gorgeous font and with right justification. Like, it's not just in a Word document anymore. This book is really going to come out. I'm so excited. So I was just going through, and the proofreader sent back edits, so it's already all formatted, but they just found some little words to delete, mostly the words just and still. I had a lot of unnecessary justs and stills that they cut out. Otherwise, the changes were pretty minimal, so that was really exciting. Depart, Depart, which is coming out in September from Stelliform Press, which is a new press dedicated to speculative fiction about climate change. So either fantasy, sci-fi, or horror about climate change. And my book would fall in the horror category. So it's a ghost story, but it's also about a massive hurricane pretty much wipes out the city of Houston, which unfortunately, if you live in Houston, you know that's like an annual possibility. Things are rough here. It floods really badly all the time. So hurricane wipes out the city of Houston, and our main character, Noah Mishner, is forced to go to Dallas and live in the Dallas Mavericks basketball stadium. And Noah Mishner is a trans guy, and being around so many of his fellow, what I like to call capital T Texans, makes him feel sometimes like being trans is like a liability. And he's worried about that. And at the same time as he's just kind of trying to survive and do his thing, he is being haunted by the ghost of his great-grandfather Abe, at the age Abe was when he escaped Nazi Germany in his uncle's duffel bag. And so it's also a book about being Jewish. I incorporated a lot of my own family's stories of immigration and survival into the narrative. And so it's a very personal book on a lot of different levels. And even though I didn't foresee the pandemic, and it's not about the pandemic, I think the themes are super relevant. It's about when the world changes in an instant, what do you take with you? What's sacred about your identity? Who really matters to you in those moments? And when your survival is on the line, like what do you hold sacred? And I think those are all questions that this pandemic has made us grapple with. And unfortunately, climate change isn't going away. Like, scientists say this pandemic was likely made worse by climate change, or possibly even caused by climate change, like animals and humans coming into contact more regularly, and viruses having to adapt to smaller animal populations. And so I think climate change is still a super relevant topic, and we need to be reading books and releasing books about climate change. So my publisher thought the same thing, and they wanted me to write something explaining how my book relates to the COVID-19 crisis. And so that's what I'm working on this week. And it sucks because I hate writing this kind of like pitchy, read my book, third person, blog posty type of writing. Like, fiction is my thing, so writing promotional materials is not my favorite, but I need to do it, so that's what I'm working on. At the same time, I just sent off my YA novel, Sandin Swarm, to my agent, and I'm hoping that we're going to go on sub with that this year, but I'm a little concerned, and so is she, because it's sci-fi, and it had a lot to do with bioengineering and biotechnology. And I was writing about bioengineering in the future. And I was not in any way trying to imply that those biotechnologies are available now. But unfortunately, because there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there that the virus is engineered, and I don't believe those conspiracy theories. The scientific consensus is that COVID-19 is like a natural phenomenon. So I wasn't trying to imply that in any way, but I'm worried that a book about future biotech at this particular moment in time might be seen as insensitive. So I may have to change it more to make it work, or it may just be that now is not the moment for this book that I've been working on for like years. Oh, but I don't know. I think that's writing. I feel for writers, I feel like a lot of writers right now are probably either feeling like their work is irrelevant or maybe too on the nose for the current crisis. And that's what happens when you're a writer and the world changes like that. So we'll see with that. Because of the uncertainty around my YA, Sandin Swarm, my agent told me to start working on something new. So that's really exciting. I'm generating lots of ideas. I'm not sure if I want to write something kind of fun and escapist that will get my head out of the pandemic and like into a fun world, or if I'm going to write something pretty dark and again, climate change focused and speculative fiction that rips your guts out, which is sort of my MO. So I'm still deciding what I'm going to work on next, but that's really exciting to get to brainstorm new projects. I will, I've never done a YouTube video, so if I can figure out how to put links in the description, I'll put a link to my website and a link to some previously published stories that are available on the web, so you can kind of check it out and get a feel for my writing. If you have ideas for what I could do with this channel, I'd love to hear them in the comments. I don't have any followers because this is brand new, so if you want to follow me and subscribe, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not sure how to end a YouTube video, so we'll just end it. All right, thanks for watching. If anyone watched this, let me know. All right, bye.